Hello, everybody. Welcome along. My name is Benjamin Bloom. This is the Benjamin Bloom Football Channel. Please leave your bias at the door and join us for a watch-along this afternoon. Big day of football today. And we've been very busy on the channel. Already got the Championship review done this morning. And this is a dearly departed watch-along. Sheffield United versus Spurs. Sheffield United, one of our 5 teams we're covering this season in the dearly departed on the channel, along with Villa, Fulham, Leeds and West Brom. Differing results yesterday with West Brom winning, but Fulham and Leeds both defeated at home yesterday. So we are going to be looking at this one. Please let me know that you can see me, hear me loudly, clearly, and if you would be so kind as to get your predictions in for this one, that would be tremendous as well. Big afternoon, like I say, because we have the seemingly the biggest Manchester United-Liverpool game in quite some time. There up at the top of the table playing later on. This, I guess, is the starter for that game, but it should be a good one, and hopefully we are going to enjoy it. Let's say hello to the chat, and I can't pronounce that, but Noah and Carl and Liam and Joel. Thank you. Love my stream with Swansea last night. I have to say, let's hope this is a bit of a better spectacle than the watch-along we did last night between Barnsley and Swansea. But hey, needs must, and conditions being what they were, I don't think helped out yesterday. Shall we have a look at the teams for this one? So, for Sheffield United, who are off the back of their first league win this season, it's been a horrible time for the Blades. And things looking, is that unchanged? No, it's not, because Stevens didn't play, but very similar looking side there. Ramsdale in goal, clean sheet for him against Newcastle, much needed. Across the back, it is Basham, Egan, and Ampadu. That's another start for Ampadu. Chris Wilder seemingly has tried about 20 players in Jack O'Connell's position here. Ampadu is the latest, and he was the one in situ when they got the first win. So stick with it. You can imagine why Wilder is doing that. Bogle has been decent, hasn't he, at right wing back? We liked him in the Championship for Derby. Stevens comes back in. He's been an excellent player for Chris Wilder. And speaking of excellent players for Chris Wilder, I was suggesting this a long while ago. I know Sander Berger is injured, but Fleck and Norwood, so good for Sheffield United in that promotion out of the Championship, that go to what you know sometimes is the way forward. And it's Fleck, Norwood, Lundstrom. Has he signed a new contract? I know there've been some issues there, but he is in up top. Same front two as well. Burke and McGoldrick is the pairing. I know Brewster and Sharp finished that game, and Sharp came on and got the goal, but I kind of get what Chris Wilder's doing there. I think with Burke and McGoldrick, you just get the most different sort of skill set within the two players, with McGoldrick's sort of skill and finesse and Burke's running power. Is there a finisher amongst those two, though, is the worry, because there certainly is on the opposition side. Now, let's just have a look at the bench quickly for the Blades. Oh, dear. And they can't name a full bench today. Fotheringham, Bryan, Lowe, Jagielka, Bulldog, Brewster, Sharp. So some options there up top with Brewster and Sharp. Not a lot in terms of central midfield particularly. Looks like Lundstrom, Norwood, Fleck might have to play the whole 90. And a bit of a tip of the cap for Jayden Bogle, I guess, because Bulldog is there and on the bench, and Bogle retains his place. Obviously, we have seen Chris Basham move into central midfield, so there is that option if they're stuck in terms of central midfield fitness. And we did see Chris Wilder go to a back four and a sort of diamond midfield, or 4-3-1-2, whatever you want to call it, in the last game. So there are options in terms of he could take a central midfielder out and, retool that way. Ampadu also we have seen in central midfield. Anyway, moving on to your Spurs team. That is the task in front of Sheffield United today. Would they take a point? I don't know. They need 3 pointers. So we'll see what the approach is. For Spurs, it is Lloris, the World Cup winner in goal. Feels like we've done Spurs a few times recently. We did them against Stoke in the League Cup, didn't we? And against Brentford as well. And we did them against Fulham in the league. So I've seen a fair bit of Spurs of late. So we do, to an extent, know what to expect. What I didn't expect, though, was a back three. And is that Mourinho matching up? I wonder. Compliment, if it is. Dyer, Davies and Rodden, the back three. So good luck to Joe Rodden, who we've covered in the Championship a fair bit, playing for Swansea, obviously transferring earlier this season in the window. Reguilon and Aurier, who I like a lot actually as wing backs. That's a good pair and gives them good balance in my humble opinion. They are, slightly differently configured to how they usually are, but you still are going to get, often Højbjerg would have sort of more of a orthodox partner in that double pivot. Although, having watched Spurs a few times, it's Højbjerg and Ndombele, by the way. And Ndombele is normally down on the team sheet as sort of a number 10, but does come back into deep positions quite a lot. It's interesting to see him starting from sort of deep, if indeed that is the role he's going to be filling. And then, as I say, slightly differently configured, but the idea is narrow forwards supporting Harry Kane. And one of them is Heung-min Son, who didn't have his shooting boots on the other day when we watched him, which is odd for him. But Bergwijn on the other side. So slightly different look to Spurs today than we are used to. Get your comments in, get your predictions in. There is the league table. So a win for Spurs would pop them up to third position, plus 14 on the goals, no, plus 16, where they'd be struggling to get a comfortable win, put it this way, would put Spurs up into third. A win for Sheffield United, and you're all of a sudden you're back-to-back wins, and you're in touch from being miles and miles off it. So would they take a point? I don't know, but Sheffield United so far back with only one win in the 18 games so far. They need 3 pointers. It doesn't really matter who you're playing now at this stage. It is just get the 3 pointers in there. Can they do it? A couple of plugs here. You can support the channel via Super Chat at any point in the broadcast. Remember, the first Super Chatter in every stream becomes the king of the bin. We don't have a fake news sin bin sponsorship, but you can win it temporarily by being the first person to Super Chat. That was Noah yesterday. We'll see if anybody steps up today. Just a bit of juvenile fun and a way to support the channel and the ever popular fake news sin bin for those people who talk nonsense in the chat. Patreon, subscribe via Patreon to support the channel. That is a lifesaver, frankly, right the way through COVID. Thank you to everybody who's subscribed on Patreon. You do get extra content as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, please hit the like button, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. But the best thing you can do is comment during the stream and let me know your views as the players come out the tunnel. Who's Jose waiting for? He's kind of stood peering round the end of the tunnel. I don't know if he's waiting for Chris Wilder. There is Gareth Bale, who's on the bench. It looks like he's got as many grey hairs as I do, although given the wealth of that man, I'm sure it's entirely deliberate. Not that I'm one to comment on people's hair, but what are you going to do, hey? Let's go into the comments and see what you guys are saying. Carl says 2-0 Sheffield. I'll add the United on because we know our Blades friends get upset to only be referred to as Sheffield, but I'm sure they'll be pleased with Carl's prediction. But keen to see how Rodden gets on in particular. Me too. He will have gone up against McGoldrick, certainly in the Championship. And possibly Burke, maybe not actually. There may have been ships passing in the night. Hi to Bits, and we will go to the Bits bet in just a second. Chris is here. He's still as happy with Gary Rowett as ever. Good win against Bristol Rovers and Newcastle, but I feel this is a win too far today with other winnable games to focus on. As for the bet, well, shall we go to the bet? I'll just quickly read Liam's there. Surprised to see David starting. Me too, Liam. It seems to be Jose is matching up with Chris Wilder and wanted to do 3 at the back and go man for man. We've seen that as a ploy from many managers over the years. The easiest thing to do sometimes is to match up all the way across the pitch. Let's go to the Bits bet. And I did do the graphic, you'll be pleased to hear. And we're in the midst of the £10 to £100 challenge if I remove that ticker. And we won the first one last night, Barnsley versus Swansea. We needed 4 Barnsley corners. So that returned £14, which now goes into this one. And a really straightforward one today in the £10 to £100 challenge is under 12 corners in the match. Under 12 corners taken. So we'll be counting up, have our abacus out, counting up the corners. If that one wins, then we go on to our third bet. You can follow along on Sky Bet if you want to. Please gamble responsibly and do not chase your losses. Hello to Anir in the chat. Also, we are seemingly very close to kickoff there. Sort of pre-match huddle by the Sheffield United players. And they're moving now towards the centre circle. Are we swapping sides? Is that what's happening? And then we will be kicking off in this one. Sheffield United versus Spurs in today's watch-along. Thank you as ever, everybody, for joining me. Harry Kane, most goal involvements in the Premier League. 22 combined goal involvements, goals and assists. What a player, and what output you get from that guy. Let me know. I'm watching on Sky on a TV feed. So if you are watching on an internet feed, you may want to pause me to line up. I will, of course, give you a time check if you so desire at any point during the game. Here we go. Players take the knee, and we are about to kick off this one. The referee is Mariner, and we are off. Sheffield United versus Spurs at Bramall Lane. Can the Blades get the second win of the season? You let me know how you think this one is going to go. Ben asked for my score prediction. I think I went 1-0 Spurs, didn't I, in the preview show? But hey, let's see how this one pans out. Lloris has the ball. Resplendent blue-coloured or purpley blue-coloured goalkeeping kit. Out it goes to Rodden, who they'll want to target, you'd imagine, unless experienced of the Ramsdale receives the ball from the back pass, slips over Kane, heads down to Son. Son knocks it off to Højbjerg. It's back out to Kane. Kane turns, edge of the box, shot deflected. Oof. hopefully that's not an omen of things to come for Sheffield United. Really, first play of the game pretty much, and Ramsdale just slips over from the goal kick and nearly allows Spurs the opportunity to play Heung-min Son in. Would have been a most inauspicious of starts. Davies has it at left centre back for Spurs. And Basham heads it out. What have we got in the chat here? Annie says, I think there might be a shock. Only a draw 1-1. Rooney out, says Super MJ Cooper. 2-0 Spurs, 2-0 Spurs. Tiny and Charlie. Latest on the Wednesday manager search. All quiet, I think. Spurs have matched up, but the difference in quality in midfield attack points to a handsome away win. Yep. And Wilder will hope that the sum of the parts will overcome the individual quality. Here's a question for you in the chat. If you put Harry Kane into the Sheffield United team, where would they finish in the league? Or how many points would they have? Well, I know you can say that for pretty much every team in Europe, but there we go. Tremendous spaghetti and beans for tea. And I hope you enjoyed it. Here is Norwood, deep midfield, using the left foot there, rarity for him, looking for Burke in the channel. If I were Sheffield United, I would play the channel a couple of times with Burke against Rodden and just get him in a foot race. And because I think physically, I think Burke's a good player, isn't he? And he can certainly maybe upset Rodden in that position, who's less experienced, as we said. Obviously, we want him to do well. Championship graduate. Ramsdale clears long. 3 minutes gone and headed away by Dyer, who has, I think I've seen Spurs. I think he's played every time. He's played well every time, actually. Dyer, the spare centre-back today. He should be able to come out and head and kick a lot of balls, you would think. Lundstrom has it down the right. McGoldrick and Davies pinches it off him. Now, Spurs, brilliant on transition. Can they... Oh, they've got an advantage, actually, and it's over on the right wing, Aurier forward. Kane was fouled in the build-up. Referee Mariner gives him the thumbs up. Bergwijn backheels it to Kane. Bergwijn's got it again. Hits the shot, and it's tipped over by Ramsdale. And sometimes playing in transition and on the break like Spurs do, it's not even about, getting huge numbers and overloads. It's about putting the fear of God up the other team when they do concede possession. And just that intensity builds as soon as it's like they go into a different mode, Spurs, when they do get on transition. Very good team in that regard. And they just showed how they do it there. So corner for Spurs, the first of the game. We need under 12 for the bits bet, so not a good start there. Heung-min Son puts it in, headed down, and it is 1-0 to Tottenham. And that's a really bad start for Sheffield United. I think Aurier has headed it in, and Spurs lead 1-0. Wow, just a free header from a corner. It's really poor, isn't it? It is Jayden Bogle is marking Aurier. Does he even run? Standing jump, near post. Oh, dear. Anyone who plays on a Sunday will know free header from a corner. I know it's Heung-min Son putting it in, but 1-0 after just 4 minutes. Serge Aurier heading Spurs in front. Pick the bones out of that in the chat, but that's really poor from Sheffield United, given they've just got that first win of the season, and to now be chasing a Jose Mourinho team that plays on the break and giving them a lead in an away game after 5 minutes just does not bode well at all. 1-0 Spurs. Eek. It's all about following up wins, isn't it, when you're down at the bottom? I remember Ipswich being down at the bottom when I was doing Blue Monday stuff in 18-19, and they'd get a win and then it would be 6 or 7 games before anything else happened. So that's your worry now if you're a Blades fan. Deary me. Let's have a look back in the chat. Everyone's saying they would be mid-table with Kane. 2-0 Spurs was a prediction. Ramsdale has to be on top of this game. Yeah, well, that age well indeed. Headed away there. Lundstrom puts it in the box. Dyer gets it clear. Højbjerg, here they come on transition again. Bergwijn's got it. Drives towards the right wing. Ampadu closes him down. I don't know whether I watch Liverpool or Man U later. We'll see. See what the missus is up to. Was it a Son assist? It most definitely was. Spurs practicing social distancing in their celebration. Nice. Sheffield United for a clean sheet. Not going to happen. They're through again. Son, and he's hit the outside of the post. Wow. That could have been 2-0 after 7 minutes. Sorry, I was just looking away at the chat. Kane to Ndombele. Kane slips Son through. Easy as that. He tries the dink, and it just hits the outside of the post. I mean, it's a difficult chance for most mere mortals, but Heung-min Son, you do expect him to score when he goes through there, and he is through. The angle's difficult, and Ramsdale does well getting off his line quickly, but it's not been a good start here. Deary me. Blades continue to struggle defending corners. One must wonder why Bruce didn't play Carroll. I just don't think Carroll can last 90 minutes, but he could have started him and brought him off. Yes, I do still do the Blue Monday podcast, but obviously I have to split my time now between that and this work here. Time check, Chris. Right. If anyone wants to sync up, I'll count you into 8 minutes and 30 seconds, which will be in about 10 seconds time. So if you do want to sync up, either pause me or pause your coverage. Oh, actually, here come Blades, and it was Burke targeting Rodden. And I'm going to miss the count there. Tried to slide him through, and Lloris quickly and nicely out to close that one down. Kane has got it in deep midfield. We'll do the time check on 9 minutes. Apologies. Stuff will happen. Kane just, I think, has ran that out of play. It's going to be a throw in to Sheffield United down that right-hand side. So if you want to sync up, I'll be at 9 minutes in 3, 2, 1, sync. 9 minutes there on the clock. 1-0 to Spurs. Aurier heading in Son's corner after 4 minutes. Yeah, bad idea. Taking Son out of the old fantasy team today. Fouled by Ampadu. And we know what the pattern will be now, don't we? Spurs will sit, and they'll just try and go into that accelerated kind of style that they go to when they'll try and draw Sheffield United on. They'll try and draw the centre-backs forward and the wing-backs forward, and then they will try and punish them. It has worked many times already this season. Højbjerg gives it away, actually, in midfield. Here's Burke into the box now, left-hand side. Burke, shot deflected, and it's a corner. Remember, we're watching corners. Second corner of the game. Burke has started reasonably well. McGoldrick, lovely ball through as ever. He drives in behind in the inside left position. And Dyer, who, as I say, always seems to play well when I watch him, gets across, and that one deflects out for a corner. So corner to the Blades on the left-hand side. It's going to come in right-footed from Norwood. In it goes. Basham heads goalwards. McGoldrick was on the back post, and he couldn't get ahead. I think it was Ben Davies there. But some joy there from the set play from Basham, who won the first header. Spurs winning the second ball. Throw in, and they're still on the attack although there is a foul on Aurier by Ender Stevens, the goal scorer, drawing the foul. Tactical matchup favours Spurs heavily. Blades keep the ball and Spurs wait for spots. You would think so. And remember, Locke, yes, watching certainly Sheffield United at their best in that championship season, it was get up the pitch, long form, 3-4 minute periods of pressure and territory. And Spurs will be quite happy to see, particularly the wing backs and the centre backs come forward. I'm exactly 1 whole second behind you. There we go. I'll try and delay my reactions by the second. Are Sheffield United the greatest example of second season in Premier League history? Well, remember you're talking to an Ipswich fan, so I think Ipswich invented second season syndrome, didn't they? Finishing 5th and then being relegated. No one will surely ever drop that many positions to a relegation no one will ever finish that high in a first season again, will they? Goodness me, 5th. But certainly it is a thing. I know fans get upset with the whole second season thing, but it is. It's clearly inertia because, Davis jumped into that tackle there. He wins the ball, no foul given. Here comes Son into the box, left-hand side. Son drives it across. That's a really good clearance by Ampadu because Harry Kane was tapping that in if it gets through there. Davis did well. Mourinho really encouraging Son to try and punish that. And Ampadu does well. You see them go in as an own goal. And remember, he's on the cover there from left centre-back coming to his near post. Corner again. Slightly worried about the bits bet now. 3 corners in the first 12 minutes. Sometimes they bunch as well. And they scored from the first one, didn't they? Eyes on Aurier and Bogle. Bogle has got his arms around Aurier. 6 of one, half a dozen of the other here. Looks like Hallewell is going to try and make the block on Bogle. Son puts it in. Flick header. There was an arm up there, and we have seen some ridiculous penalties get given this season. They've cleared it, and Burke pokes it back to Lundstrom. Region does well. And not only does he win the ball, he draws the foul. Good game, this one, tackling-wise. Lots of full-blooded tackles going in. But you know full well when a bad one goes in, someone will go down holding whatever parts of their body they need to ensure a booking accrues. Yes, Huddersfield as well. Second season syndrome. Where did Huddersfield finish in their first season? Can anyone tell me in the chat? Spurs playing out from the back here. Davies, nice ball into Son, whose control is immaculate, as you'd imagine. Region tries to play the channel. He's just winded Bogle, I think, there. And Spurs win the throw-in. United all over the place here. In fact, the game is all over the place here. I suspect Mr. Mourinho will be quite happy with the game state, won't he? He'll want Sheffield United to feel that there's a goal in this because that's when Spurs have gone 2-3 up in games where they've taken a lead, drawn teams out, and then just destroyed them. 14:45 gone. Højbjerg gives the thumbs up as the ball is returned to Hugo Lloris. 15 gone, 1-0 to Spurs in this one. What can I say? Spurs normally let teams come onto them and then when they attack, they're clinical. Only average 2 to 3 corners away from home. Well, they've already done that in the first 15 minutes of this game. 2 corners for Spurs and scoring from one of them. Referee Mariner is having a word with Egan, who just goes through Harry Kane there. Probably going to get booked next time he does anything like that. John Egan, who is the captain for Sheffield United. Free kick for Spurs. Defensive line just on the edge of the D. In it goes, left-footed, headed out by McGoldrick, who does punch his weight in the air, actually, for a flamboyant player. Pretty good in the air. And it's a Sheffield United throw-in, successfully defending that free kick. The Blades, in fact, the offside flag is up. 16:22 gone now. Sheffield United 0, Spurs 1. Let's have a quick look at the live league table and see what will transpire in the table. Should this stay the same, Tottenham will go up to 4th, plus 15 on the goal difference, plays plus 16. So one more will bring them level, but then on the goals scored. So a 3-goal victory will put Spurs into 3rd, with Liverpool due to play Manchester United later today. Say hello to my dogs barking in the background. Bless them. I'm sure someone just dared to walk in front of the house or what have you. Let's get to 30 minutes with no more corners and we'll be fine. McGoldrick and referee Mariner are chattering away about something. Hopefully McGoldrick's okay, because he has had injury problems before. Chris Wilder appears to be growing some kind of beard. Maybe it's a winning streak beard. I'm putting the rumour out there. That's a great question, Liam. How many of the Sheffield United players do you see leaving if they get relegated? I suspect they would have to trade out Sander Berger, who they'd spent money on. Jack O'Connell would be the one. If I were a Premier League manager, I'd be like, right, I want him, given his age. I'd imagine they'll keep Brewster, given the age and the investment. Maybe Moussa, but then with Brexit now, it's normally we expect the European players to be traded out to the European market. But if they haven't played the designated seasons at the top level, then they won't be allowed. Well, I think it's top 2 divisions, so people like Berger, I'm sure would be okay, and Moussa, where did he get to Bournemouth? So yeah, he'd be okay as well. So yeah, probably Berger, Moussa, and O'Connell. But good question. Afternoon QPR forever. Next 2 Blades games, Man United and Liverpool. Ouch, ouchie, he says as he smacks his arm against the table. Sorry if that came through loud on the mic. Højbjerg has it in deep midfield. It goes to Rodden via Dyer. And Ndombele playing in that slightly deeper position. Back it goes to Dyer. And Ndombele has it again. That's a brilliant pass to Aurier outside of the foot. Aurier is down the right-hand side. Back to Kane, who swings the cross in, headed up in the air by Ampadu and away by Basham. Højbjerg keeping the pressure on. Slip through, Son in the box. Son holds it up, looking for Bergwijn. It was Ndombele, good little period for him. A couple of excellent passes in short order there. But we will see what's going on here in the chat. Winning streak beard, if we have a shave in the mud. It could be. I'm putting the rumour out there. Yes, I was straight in there with that one. Richard, inertia hits. Oh, slip through. McGoldrick is in on the left-hand side of the box, stood up by Rodden. McGoldrick cuts inside as his shot blocked. There was an overlap on there, which was Ender Stevens. He wasn't happy with Dave McGoldrick. Who's king of the bin? Nobody is in for king of the bin. If you do want to super chat, you will become the king of the bin if you are the first in the stream. Although we do seem to have a sensible bunch in the chat. So I don't know if anyone's going in the fake news sin bin today. Someone normally volunteers themselves. So, but yes, you can, of course, become king of the bin just by being the first person to Super Chat. It's up for grabs now, in the words of Brian Moore. Throw in to Spurs down the left. Ben Davies tosses that one in to Ndombele. Bergwijn. But he runs it out for a goal kick. Mourinho applauds that. I'm not entirely sure why, but he'll be very happy with the first quarter of this game, other than a couple of balls slid in, particularly behind Joe Rodden in the left centre-back area. That seems to have been targeted, like I suggested it might. However, look at the numbers, 67% possession, 5 shots to 1, 2 corners to 1, 2 big chances to 0. Remember, Heung-min Son got played in and hit the outside of the post. Double the passes as well. This is fairly dominant thus far from Spurs. Is fairly dominant a thing, or is that an oxymoron? Let me know in the chat. Can I get away with fairly dominant? That's an oxymoron, isn't it? It's played back to Norwood, who shoots from distance. Højbjerg charges down, and here comes Spurs on transition. Kane drives. That's got to be a yellow card for Norwood there, who has about 3 goes at fouling Harry Kane. And yeah, referee Mariner does the right thing in pulling that back, I have to say. And it's a yellow card for Ollie Norwood. He just clips his heel and takes him down. A tactical foul, nonetheless. 22 and a half minutes gone, so we are at the exact halfway point of normal time. And it's a free kick to Spurs centrally, pretty much halfway between the D and the centre circle. So it's going to be clipped in by Højbjerg. Dyer has gone to the back post. Dyer wins the header. Good header back across. And a corner is conceded. Good play by Eric Dyer. There, heads it back across. And I think it was Egan that ended up putting it out. Yeah, Egan with Harry Kane just behind him. Helps that one out. And it's another corner to Spurs. That is corner number 4 of the game. We need less than 12 for our challenge. Not going too well so far. But we will keep our fingers crossed. Son puts the corner in. Oh, Ramsdale flappy there. Gets a fist on it. Looked like he could have caught that one under not a hell of a lot of pressure. I don't want to join in the pile on poor old Aaron Ramsdale, but I think he could have done better with that one. I may be wrong. We will judge it on the replay. And Ndombele, oh, strong play there. I thought he was going to get robbed by Burke, but good upper body strength. And Dyer goes all the way home. The goal was scored, Paddy, on 4 minutes by Serge Aurier, who headed in a Heung-min Son corner. Who's the top ref? WSL at the minute. Well, I want to nominate referee Stroud because we mocked him ceaselessly on the channel, and he's actually had about 5 good games since we've seen him have a bad one. Our watch list has referee Langford at the top of it, who has been quite the buffoon in a couple of games we've watched this season. So let's give referee Stroud credit where it's due. Although referee Mariner has done nothing of note to incur anybody's ire today. Højbjerg plays that one out on the halfway line, left-hand side to Davies. Reguilon plays the channel, and Basham is going to sweep that up. And he draws the foul off Ben Davies. That's a good question, Blow. Can I put that to the chat? So, say, for example, Sheffield United, as we imagine, are going to be relegated. And let's give you some names. These people stay, okay? Wilder stays. Ramsdale stays. Egan and Basham stay. Brewster, McBurney stay. Norwood, Fleck, all stay. Bogle. Where did that lot with Wilder managing them should be in the top 4, shouldn't they? Surely the next season, unless the toothpaste is really out of the tube on Chris Wilder, and it was all momentum. I don't imagine that's the case though. Surely they were so good for those years, weren't they? Norwood. Let me know what you think in the chat there. Ampadu. I'm sure it's a equation that most Blades fans are wondering about at the moment. Højbjerg had 2 options there. He was carrying the ball in central midfield, one to play Son in, and then the second to play Kane in. Son was inside left and Kane down the middle. He didn't take either. Let's see if his patience gets rewarded. Excuse me. Dyer to Højbjerg to Aurier on the right. Nice back heel by Højbjerg. I didn't think he had it in him. And Ndombele, who I find quite an impressive passer of the ball. Dyer stepping out from the back, who I've really enjoyed watching actually. Dyer, let me know. Would you have Dyer in if you're playing a back 3 with England? Would you have Dyer in there? Always played well when I've seen him. Højbjerg, patient move from Spurs here, a bit out of character. Bergwijn and Ndombele tries to reverse ball into Region. Was a difficult pass, but he pulls off the next one to Bergwijn. He's very patient from Spurs now. And Ndombele, lovely ball again. Region out to Son. Stands up Bogle. Son pokes it inside. That's poor from Son. And here come Sheffield United on transition, but no options. Although Bogle's got away with one there, and Bogle slides it into McGoldrick. McGoldrick is now in behind. He's just not got the pace. We said this a million times with Dave McGoldrick. If he was a second faster over 100 metres, he would have played in the Premier League his entire career because he had everything else. Just never been a quick player, McGoldrick. And you see that there. Here is Burke. Burke drives that shot low, but Lloris, the World Cup winner, has that covered. What's the chat saying? Depends who else are in the championship, like teams. But yes, that team will be in the top 3 at least. First, third, champions, defo top 6. Can you do that with Leeds? We don't think Leeds are going down, are we? Deary me. Please give Ben a like. He's hardworking. Thank you. Tremendous stuff. Not a big fan of Dyer on that one, says Jack. Better at the back than in midfield. Fair comment. Ben, do you think about us not streaming? All day, Blow 22. All day long, my friends. Do you know what? The only time, and Shady tells me off for this, is if someone gives me a mean comment and I'm checking my phone if I've replied and it gets in my head. But, Fleck tried to play Lundstrom through then. He didn't manage to pull the pass off. If he did, Lundstrom was in a very desirable position up in the penalty box. Sometimes my mouth goes faster than my brain. Foul by Ampadu on, I think it was Bergwijn, wasn't it? Davies to Dyer to Rodden. What do we think of Rodden? He's done all right so far, hasn't he? Ramsdale is looking for an option. He clears the ball long. Poor clearance by Ramsdale. Straight back to Rodden. And Spurs have possession again. Logan says, just reassure me we're on poor form. You're on poor form. Don't you worry, you'll be fine. Look at the table, for goodness sakes. Here is Egan under pressure from Heung-min Son. Has to pop that one out of play. Fairly high up the pitch. And Ndombele, tries to play that one He's used that reverse ball a few times where he opens up his body, looks like he's going to play it outside, and then he quickly sweeps back across it. Rodden's a decent player, but deserves to be a bigger club. Let's see, Bristol City. It would have been helpful this season, wouldn't it? Hey, Dan says, I've heard a lot of people saying Bielsa is overrated. Well, football fans will always call people overrated and then give no context whatsoever. So regular viewers of the channel will know my feelings on the accusation of being overrated. I think it's poor analysis, isn't it? You need to give more detail. And Dombele into the box. Kane, can he get it under control? No. And Basham draws the foul in lovely Basham manner. Effective player, Basham. Unorthodox, sometimes ungainly, but he's been brilliant for Sheffield United. I feel if Spurs get a second, the corners will dry up. It's all about the corners. Leeds fans say Bielsa out if we lose and Champions League if we win. Believe me, Logan, don't worry. That's not just Leeds fans. If you're looking for rationality, football fans are not the place to find it. But we try and get it here. We try and make this the closest place. Chris Basham doing Chris Basham things. I was at a game, actually. Who was that? It was Sheffield United, West Brom. That would have been winter 2018. Basham marauded forward and did a step over. It was the slowest step over I've ever seen. I loved it. Sheffield United nearly sliding Stevens in behind, but there was that annoying thing where the linesman would have been asked not to flag, and everyone knows he's offside, but the linesman doesn't flag, and the player kind of half stops, and it's all a bit of a charade. If they're offside, flag them if you're sure. Almost feel sorry for the linesman on that one. Never be wrong, basically. Free kick for Spurs, which Lloris is going to take and play down the ground and get them up the pitch. Poor clearance, actually. McGoldrick has played Burke in down the left-hand side. Lundstrom's forward. Burke runs Dyer. Oh, that's a lovely ball by Burke. Now, he played it across the box with the outside of his right foot then, and Lundstrom had just checked his run. And I said this at the start of the game, is there a finisher there? You know full well if Billy Sharp had been on, that's the exact position he would have been in. Nobody makes the gamble there. I think it's a beautiful cross by Burke. Let me just see it on the replay. Beats Dyer. Someone's got to make that run. Bogle had come in from right wing back, but you're looking at a central midfielder. Lundstrom was in there, or McGoldrick, his striking partner. Nobody in that sort of number 9 finisher position. And I think there's a bloke wearing number 10 for Spurs who would have been right there, wouldn't he? There you go. Maybe symptomatic there of the type of player playing up top for Sheffield United. Not the quality, the type. Here's Norwood. Nice switch of play. Seen that a million times, haven't we? Fleck. It's the first time I've mentioned him, isn't it? 34 minutes in. Fleck needs a runner. He tries to play a give and go with Stevens. It's broken for Burke. Edge of the box. Bit ambitious shot there from Burke. Now Norwood. Norwood, lovely ball. McGoldrick sorts his feet out. Good block by Dyer. Good defending again by him. And here comes Reguilon, and here comes Spurs on the transition. And it's 4 against 4. Kane, and he just for once doesn't manage to pull the pass off. Spurs went into that overdrive mode that they do when they get a counter-attack. Didn't quite manage to execute there. Good game, this. It was certainly good last 2 or 3 minutes as the game state we expected. Sheffield United pushed forward a bit, but Spurs just waiting, laying in wait, aren't they? And Spurs defending well, actually, when Blades do get forward. Chris Waddle was the king of the step over, wasn't he? Just. And the shimmy as well, more Waddle. I'll take your Waddle and raise it. Original Ronaldo, the step over at full sprint. Oh, my God. Unstoppable. Long ranger there from Fleck with the right foot. Normally he would hit them with the left, straight at Lloris. Need to give a room tour in future video as an idea. Sure, yeah. It's looking quite good now. Pretty good. I dislike the way the linesmen don't put the flag up when it's clear. Me too, Liam. It's what they've been asked to do, isn't it? It's let's be fair to the linesmen and say we dislike the guidance to do that. So Dave says Spurs can't have Ollie Skip back. Good player, Skip. I don't think he would be close with Højbjerg, Sissoko and Ndombele there. So I assume Dave's a Norwich fan there. Maybe a chance for Norwich to get him. But you have to pay the big money. And that's not what Norwich did last time they were up. That would be a great signal of intent to drop it'd have to be a club record, you'd think, to get Skip. Who invented the skip? But yeah, he's doing ever so well, isn't he? Spurs look so dangerous on the counter. They should win this in the first half. They're so set up that way, aren't they, Lock, yes. Just seem to go into this laser focus when they are on transition. Oh, brilliant turn by Reguilón there. Flicks the ball over Lundstrom's head, plays it up to Son. Son crosses in left-footed. Oh, either foot, Son. It's up in the air from Ramsdale. Kane with a shove there. Referee Mariner lets it go. Good refereeing again. Brilliant work from Reguilón down the left-hand side there. And Son, normally a predominantly right-footed player there. Beautiful out-swinging cross with the left foot. Ramsdale did deal with it slightly unconvincingly, one has to admit, but they didn't concede from it. But Reguilón, a good player down that left wing-back sort of channel for Spurs. Højbjerg to Ore in the right-back position. And Ndombele and Bergwijn is fouled by Ampadu. Ampadu is close to a yellow card now on the totting up process. That's probably his third or fourth foul. Let's have another look at this lovely cross by Son. Oh, it's a beaut, isn't it? Just asking the question of Ampadu, pops it up in the air. Actually, did Kane foul Ramsdale? No, he didn't, did he? Well, I mean, they get away with it. Ramsdale flaps it away, but I don't think Kane left much on him. I think I was wrong about that one. I thought it was going to be a nailed-on foul, but hey, whenever the keeper goes anywhere near anyone in the box, they normally get the call, don't they? Joe Rodden is down. Looks like Ollie Burke has fouled him. He's holding his right ankle. He looks okay. Looks like you're missing the lime green highlighter from your pens. Just put that there, Super NJ Cooper. I think you've got as many autistic tendencies as me there, my friend. We need all the colours in shot, absolutely. You haven't seen the colour-coded whiteboard up there. Here is Højbjerg. Clips that one into the back post looking for Son. Reguilón was arriving as well. Hole down the left-hand side now. Can the Blades exploit it? No. They've given the ball away. That's poor. And Spurs now. Jurgen Klopp would call this a counter press. Here is Kane. Oh, God. What a player. What a goal. 2-0 Spurs. Just lethal. Absolutely blooming lethal, that bloke. Harry Kane does it again. It's so poor from Sheffield United in the first instance. They've got a counter-attack chance because Reguilón and Son are forward. It's a poor touch from Norwood. Højbjerg plays it into Kane and then just class after that. Beats his man. He's probably about 25 yards out. He's not even in a dangerous position. There's three players around him, too strong and then just too good. Hits it early. It's not that far into the corner, but Kane knows what he's doing in terms of just shaping the shot around Ramsdale. That's why he's the England captain and he scores pretty much most games he plays. They're brilliant from Kane, but Sheffield United, foolish. Norwood, probably the most culpable with the bad touch there. And the most maddening thing about it, if you're a Sheffield United fan, is the left-hand side had opened up because both Reguilon and Son were forward. So 2-0 Spurs, game over. And can they get the third they need to go into third place now? Feels like the only issue now. Sheffield United have played right into their hands, and with people like Kane and Son and Mourinho, you have to be at it. You can't fall over all of the tripwires that they set for you. So yes, this is why they don't get many corners. No, there's the goal. I get to keep my farm. Took out Kane and Son to bring Salah in. That was a bad call, Noah, given the game that Salah has got. But there we go, 2-0 to Spurs. Bit of quality by Harry Kane. McGoldrick puts that into the back post, nodded back by Stevens to Fleck. Fleck rolls the back heel. Stevens to Norwood. Norwood, edge of the box, finds Lundstrom. Lundstrom, it's an ambitious pass by Lundstrom. And, yeah, Sheffield United, they're just not executing now, are they? They need something to go for them in this game, don't they? Else you feel it's going to ebb away. But they're manfully attacking. Here is McGoldrick, flips that into Bogle. Bogle, good feet and good strength. Plays it back to Norwood. Norwood out to Lundstrom, right wing. Basham gives it in back. Lundstrom to Norwood. Is there a crossing position? Remember, Spurs are playing 3 centre-halves as well, so when they do look for a crossing position, and they've found one now with Basham, good ball in, falls to Bogle. Bogle drives, good block again by Eric Dyer. Basham, another cross to the back post, and Aurier heads it out. Good play by both there. Credit to Sheffield United, actually, because they really kept that attack alive. Nice ball round the corner by McGoldrick. Lovely cross by Basham. Good defended by Rodden, who gets a bit of a knock from Burke. It wasn't a foul, I don't think, but a fierce, stiff old tackle, I think. Or maybe there was a kind of forearm in the back, possibly. Corner goes in. Lloris fists that one clear. 5th corner, by the way, for those of you following the bits. Bet crossed in again. Kane headers away, and it's going to be a Blades throw-in. Can they keep it up to the end of the half, or will they get caught out again? I wonder. Here is Aurier and cleared away. Ampadu heads it out, and Kane is not eager to take the throw-in quickly. Sheffield United never get up, but you can see the clear difference when they know there is a clear opportunity or just attacking because they have to. Yeah, true. Dyer has it, the middle centre-half for Spurs. Davies plays that one looking for Son. Basham read it. Bogle trying to find Basham, and now is there a hole to exploit? There nearly was, but Bergwijn just on his heels a little bit as the ball went forward. Wasn't the best pass in deference to Bergwijn. Here's Ndombele trying to play Son in over the top there. Doesn't find the pass, and Basham gets it out to Ampadu. Ampadu in the centre-half position, and that's poor. Tries to play the channel, presumably for a run from Burke, who didn't make the run, so he ends up just popping the ball into the space. I've had 2 Pepsi Maxes in 1 hour, says Anne. Disgraceful. Well, if you only knew my consumption, then that doesn't make it right. But yeah, you're going to be hyper anyway, which is fun. Not fun for the people around you, but there you go. Huh. Who was better, Rui Costa or Luis Figo? I met Rui Costa. And even better than that, I met Rui Costa in Ipswich. See if you can figure that one out. But 2 very different players. Rui Costa, the classic number 10. Figo, more a wide man. But a wide man who played on the wrong side as well and cut cut inside, but Figo would probably just edge it, but comparing apples and oranges a little bit there. Norwood. Basham. Nice ball by Basham to Bogle. We're into stoppage time. Bogle crosses. It's another corner. We are up to 6 corners now. Worried about our bits bet. Corner taken short. In it comes left-footed by Fleck. That's going to go all the way out, and that is likely to be it for the half because we have 25 seconds of minimum stoppage time remaining. And Spurs have a goal kick. So they should be able to eke this one out and go in 2 up at half-time. So I was working at the hotel, which there's lots of stories, and Ipswich played Fiorentina in a pre-season friendly. And stood at the bar were Nuno Gomez and Rui Costa. And, of course, me being me, I went up and got an autograph from both of them. Tony says, can't see Sheffield United getting anything out of this game. Do play some good football. End product falls flat. I don't want to agree with that, Tony, but I do because I like Sheffield United and I like what they've done. But it gets to the point, and we've spoken about this half-time, by the way, 2-0. And we've spoken about this with the Leeds fans where it almost doesn't matter how innovative and rehearsed your pattern of play is. If your players are significantly inferior to the majority of opponents, you need to upgrade the players and, execute at a higher level. So it's tricky. It really, really is tricky because if you could execute that 3 centre-half system with the overloads with, some really, really elite level players, it'd be unstoppable. But hey, there's only so many elite level players to go around. And Spurs definitely have a couple of them playing up front, don't they? Let's have a look at the numbers in the first half. It was 62% possession to Spurs, 7 shots to 6, but only 2 on target and 3 shots inside the box, to be fair, for Blades. 3 corners apiece, but 2 big chances to 0. One of them missed indeed as well in Spurs' favour. Just poor for the first goal, wasn't it? Literally corner, header, standing jump from Aurier in the 6-yard box and whoosh, away you go, 1-0 after 4 minutes. Spurs could have gone 2-0 up when Son got played through. Sheffield United had some periods of territory. However, when you're looking for that big chance, that clear chance, that gilt-edged chance, they just haven't had it, have they? And then, of course, Harry Kane scores and makes it 2-0. And architects of their own downfall, you have to say, because Ramsdale throws it out. They're trying to work a counter-attack. Norwood takes a bad touch. Højbjerg nicks it off him, counter-press, and slid through to Kane, who does what he does. Too much strength, a little bit of pace, and he sticks it in from about 25 yards with the right foot, just using Ramsdale as the marker and just low and firm curls it in to the corner. Please give Len a bike. Please hit like, of course. Yeah. Right. Get your comments in at halftime. Give us some stuff to chat about. Just have a look at the live league table and you can see Spurs now on the plus 16 goal difference that Liverpool are on. So one more goal, a 3-goal advantage would put Spurs up into third place. Remember, of course, Liverpool will be playing later on and can move straight back above them. Leicester stopping that game later, being first against second. Get your topics in. Give us some ideas to chat about during the half time. Sheffield United, bottom, 5 points from 19 games and not looking like getting any from today. Stranger things have happened, but you would think if you offered them any points from this right now, they would be very surprised and very, very happy to take them. Let's do some pluggery. As you can see, ticking along the bottom there. You can support via Super Chat. We haven't had a Super Chat yet. And the first person to Super Chat in a stream becomes King of the Bin and owns the Fake News Sin Bin sponsorship. So why not, hey? Just what you've always wanted. Patreon, though, a little bit of a more serious way to support the channel. If you head over to Patreon, extra content, you get your name in the description of the videos. You get an open line of communication with me in the Patreon. We will set up the Discord over there, and then Patreon exclusive videos, Q&As, and short form prediction shows, which are always good fun over there. And if you're on YouTube, hashtag give Len a bike. Give Ben a like. Yeah, hit the like button if you're in the stream. Obviously, keep your comments coming, but subscribe and ring the bell for notifications. Sky have gone to their halftime pieces. Let's see if we can get any comments here. Give me your comments during the halftime. Roy Keane is wincing about something. No doubt it'll be Sheffield United playing into Spurs' hands somewhat. Right, get your topics in, you get your questions in. Bit says, I feel Wilder might have liked some points from this game, but I doubt he was seriously thinking it was winnable unless it was a shock win. More winnable games ahead to throw the kitchen sink at. I think they've got Manchester United and Liverpool coming up. So they're leaving it very, 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 very late, I would suggest. We're just having a look at the opening goal. Is there any kind of block on Ramsdale? There's not, is there? He half comes, he doesn't. I mean, it's a good delivery, but Bogle, Ramsdale, and Purdue, I can see Micah Richards and Roy Keane probably ripping that, defending a new one. And it was exactly the same for the second goal, wasn't it? Where they're in a position to counter-attack and that ends up with the ball in their own net. Here it is, in fact. Bogle plays it inside. Poor touch by Norwood. Højbjerg takes it off him, and then Kane. It is quality from Kane thereafter, and it always is from him. But so poor to take that counter-attacking chance and end up with the ball in your own net. Sheffield United's next 6 games are hard, even with the likes of West Brom and Fulham. They just have to, Tony, with any chance against any of the bottom half teams, they just have to win now, else they are for sure down, 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 deeper and down, you would think. Do you remember Ipswich winning 91-92 Division 2 title? Yes, I do. I won't tell you my age, but I do remember it. I wasn't attending football matches then. It was not something we did when I was a young kid, only more when I was a teenager, I have to say. Reguilon was top quality in the first half. He's a good player, isn't he, Reguilon? But hey, 30 million quid from Real Madrid. I think Souness is now having a pop at Sheffield United as well. They're all getting in on the act here. And Keane, the same on Sky. Mickey Leeds is here. How am I today? I am wonderful. I've done my review show. I've been for a walk with the dogs. I'm doing this second show and I'll be done with all my stuff by 4 p.m. and can go and chill out with Shaylee, eat, watch The Crown, hang with the dogs, might even have a glass of wine into the bargain. Michael says, I admire and respect Chris Wilder as a person and manager. Me too. But there's more chance of a one-legged cat burying a turd in a frozen pond than Sheffield United staying up this season. Keep up the good work. So you think there's a chance, Michael? It's a slim chance, isn't it? I do wonder about Reguilon. Still looks nervous to me. Jury is out. All Sheffield United have to do is win 12 out of the last 19 games. Easy. Probably not that many, but I take your point. 12 out of 19, 36 points. Now, they wouldn't need to win 12, would they? But I take your point for sure. And they're going to be at the halfway mark here, aren't they? 19 games gone, Sheffield United. You would think it would be somewhere around the 35-point mark. But hey, 12 wins, 10 wins when you've won 1 out of 19. It ain't going to happen. You wouldn't have thought, would you? There you go. You stole my thunder there, Jack. You would think around the 35 mark. Remember, the 1 point per game ratio we use in the Championship doesn't really work in the Premier League, A, because it's not a 46-game season, and the level of consistency can be that little bit low with the 8 fewer game, and B, because of the sheer quality of the teams at the top compared to the bottom, you do often get that stretch out where we look at more than 2 points per game at the top, which is crazy. But hey, Liverpool and Man City have done it, haven't they? And Chelsea under Mourinho for sure. And it can be a bit of a lower total at the bottom. Are Bournemouth bottling promotion? Well, I don't like the term bottling because I think the standard for using the term bottling is really bad amongst football fans, isn't it? I think if someone is 2-0 up going into injury time in a match, then yes, they bottle it if they don't win. Think Gillingham in the playoff final against Manchester City. In terms of Bournemouth bottling promotion, well, they've not been out front and leading with a long gap. Like, what Norwich got now, 7 points, I think, or 8, is it? I can't remember. But then still there's half a season to play. So are Bournemouth slipping slightly away from the sort of guaranteed top 3 we thought they were going to get? Perhaps, but bottling promotion, that would be unfair to say yet. However, they are dropping in terms of the form table. So your point, Blow, is a fair one, I would suggest. They need to win enough to get above the bottom 3. So it might only be 9 out of their last. Yeah, exactly. It's a race, isn't it? People forget this, me included. We sit there doing points calculations and whatnot. And Bits is totally right. If everyone's crap, you don't need that many points, do you? And like last season in the Championship, 49 points Charlton got relegated with, and it's like, well, wow, that's normally our guarantee, but it's a race, and you've got to get ahead of everybody, haven't you? So. Logan asks, is the Bits bet on track? Yes. Or no, actually. No, it's not. Let me answer that one properly. So we've had 6 corners. We need under 12. So we need there to be less corners in the second half than there was in the first half. And we will win the second of the Bits bets there in our race. Oh no! Don't apologise, Blow. I just take issue with the term bottling, but no, it's absolutely no need to apologise. If you look at last season, everyone wished Sheffield United to do well and stay up. Unfortunately, they haven't upped the ante this season. Did they up the ante last season in terms of the recruitment? They were still riding that momentum from the previous couple of seasons, weren't they? So yeah. And they do play good football, absolutely. Owen says, looking rough for Sheffield United. Yep, looks like it's done this game, doesn't it? For sure. Every club has a dip in form at one stage in the season. Yep, absolutely. What are your thoughts on the current Forest upturn? Well, not unexpected, James, given the squad and given that Krissy normally does, in the end, score plenty of points in the Championship, doesn't he? So let's see where it takes Forest. But yeah, I don't think I would be slapping myself on the back too much to say that we did predict it, didn't we? Depends if you can bounce back. Yeah, it's the whole regression to the mean thing, isn't it? Is it really a dip in form? Do you know what I mean? If it's not really a dip in form and that is just your level, then the bounce back is the outlier, not the actual dip in form, isn't it? So here come John Egan and Ender Stevens. We're about to start the second half. That's a good question. Tony asked, do you think Big Sam has found the club he can't keep up this season with West Brom? He may have, but he's been a damn good manager at keeping people up, Big Sam, hasn't he? So if anyone was a specialist, it would likely be him, wouldn't it? So we'll see. Just keep an eye on the transfer market, because I'm sure he'll have some bits and bobs up his sleeve as well, in terms of some players who he's probably worked with before coming in. And great start in terms of getting that first win. And he got the draw against Liverpool. They're just a long way back, aren't they, West Brom, in terms of 5 points to Burnley there. Good win for Brighton at Leeds, obviously, yesterday. Right, we're about to start the second half in this one. It's 2-0. Jose is intently getting ready to set his watch to referee Mariners' whistle. And it's almost like he doesn't trust anybody, Jose, isn't it? Eh? He wants his own timer. And away we go. Let me know if you want a time check as we go. If you want to sync up, if you're watching on Now TV or through the internet, you will likely be a bit behind. I've got... So we are on, I think, Sky Sports main event through a TV signal. So if you want to sync up, likely that we will be a little bit ahead of you here. So I'll give you a time check and when your teams will just quickly refresh. Ramsdale in goal for Blades. Basham, Egan, Ampadu are the centre-backs. Bogle and Stevens, the wing-backs. Lundstrom, Norwood, Fleck in central midfield. And McGoldrick and Burke up top. For Spurs, they've matched up in terms of the three at the back. Slightly different configuration, though, with two wide forwards. Let me just pause, because McGoldrick's got a bit of space down the left. He crosses it left-footed, and Rodden makes the clearance. So Spurs, Lloris in goal. Davis, Dyer, Rodden is a back three. Aurier and Reguilon are the wing-backs. Then it's like a double pivot in central midfield, and Dombele and Højbjerg, and inside forwards, Son left and Bergwijn right. Oh, crossed into the back post there. Bogle heads it over. Difficult chance. And, of course, Harry Kane. Up the top in the first half, goal scorers, Aurier, header from a set play, and Kane from about 25 yards. Crossed in there from Stevens, and Bogle headed it over. He just was at the peak of his jump and sprinting, and it just looked like he wasn't going to be able to control the header. And that was how it turned out to be. Owen says there will be 5 more. Yeah. You know what Big Sam's going to do, isn't he? Yeah, Snodgrass made a difference. Well, there you go. He'll get it done, won't he? As a Derby fan, I find it odd how fans of other clubs think the Derby squad is quite strong and underperforming. I think we are banging trouble right from the beginning of the season. How do I feel about that? Well, who's got a worse squad than Derby would be more pertinent, the question, or a bit of a negative wording. But Wickham, for sure. Rotherham, for sure. Do QPR have a better squad than Derby? Do Birmingham? Do Huddersfield? Do Luton? There's a few you could argue it. Here goes Burke now, in behind Rodden, into the box. Cross right-footed. It's back out to McGoldrick. Bogle up supporting. Right-hand side. Bogle plays it back to Fleck centrally. Spurs back in shape. Bogle now into McGoldrick. Nice football. Basham cuts it back. Stevens, someone take a shot. They just overplayed it. They didn't have that assassin like Spurs have up top. And they couldn't get the shot off there, despite some lovely build-up play. And then McGoldrick with a long range. I think it might have taken a deflection, and they've got a corner there. It's all lovely. All the patterns work, and you have the runner on the outside, and he's the decoy, and it goes back to Stevens, but it needed a first-time shot there, and it did not get one. Corner, though, however, corner number 7. We need under 12 for the bitch bet. The bits bet. Excuse my language. Corner goes in easy for Lloris, who catches that and kills a second or two. James asked, do you think Sheffield United will beat the 11 points? What do we feel about that? Lundstrom is about to get booked. Sorry, I looked away. Referee Mariner, who's had a good game, pulls out the yellow card. And it was a counter-attack. Good goal kick, actually. Good touch by Bergwijn. Lundstrom just unceremoniously takes him out. It's a great first touch, actually, by Bergwijn, and a clear yellow card. And a foul. Oof. Long ranger there. Ramsdale furious that wasn't closed down. I think it's Harry Kane. And we've got another corner. Quick free kick, and Kane with the left foot actually there, blasting that one in. And I believe that is corner number 8 now of the 12. Ramsdale taking no chances, tipping it over the top. So depressing talking about plays at the moment, indeed. But Bitch thinks they will get over that 12-point mark. What is that points per game? It's like 0.4 or something, isn't it? 12 in 38. Horrible. Son puts the corner in. And I think, are we going to have another corner? No. There's a foul being given. Because it seemed to come off a red and white shirt. Let's have a look. Yeah, I think Kane flicked it and it hit Egan before it went out, but not quite seen. Comment of the day. Hello, sir. Long time no speak. You're the man. Thank you. That was an unfortunate slip of the tongue there when I was trying to say bits. Don't demonetize me. How has Rodden been, says William, a Swansea fan? Decent. He's just headed it back to the keeper, actually. They've targeted him as well. They've tried to play in behind him in the three centre-back system with a bit of space. He's done fine, Rodden. In possession again, and back it goes to Hugo Lloris. 51 minutes, 37 gone in this one. Odds of a Steel City derby. Do you know, there could just be one next season, couldn't they? A little splurging points for Sheffield Wednesday. 10 points in the last 4 games. Let's just see. I think with Sheffield Wednesday and Derby, we were talking with MJ. If both clubs can avert chaos in terms of takeovers not happening. Here comes Kane. Kane out to Aurier. Aurier run around the corner looking for Son. Oh, Ramsdale out there. Now, is VAR going to have a look at that? Because it was pretty clumsy from Ramsdale. He kind of half came and then didn't slide out at Son's feet. Let's have a look. No, to be fair, Son doesn't get there first. So it was still clumsy, but it wasn't a penalty. Afternoon, Ben. Do you think Barnsley can get a playoff place if Moet goes? Show no ambition. I don't think Barnsley will get a playoff place. I think if they're in the top half, I think they're doing great. It just feels. I think we had the stat today: 10 victories this season, only one of them against the top half team. So it feels like they are mid-table, but definitely going in the right direction. Yeah, I know what you meant, Joe. Understood. Ampadu. to Fleck. Fleck into the box. And he's won a corner. Corner number 9. We need less than 12 and there's 37 minutes left. So we may be restarting restarting the bits bet if this one doesn't go right. Corner goes in and Spurs get that one clear. No counter-attack this time, and it's all the way back with Ramsdale. we may still get it. We may still get it, mightn't we, Bits? Here's Ampadu. I'll take that question next on Brewster. Get your thoughts in if you want. Here is Lundstrom. Lundstrom to McGoldrick. McGoldrick into Norwood. Oh, here comes Spurs on the counter. Kane now, right-hand side. 3 arriving. One of them is Bergwijn. One of those Son. Bergwijn stood up by Fleck, who tracked him. Bergwijn clips it to the back post. Headed out by Bogle. Kane's got it. Edge of the box. Kane left-footed over the bar. Ooh, heart in mouth moment there. Could have been a third goal. Right. Thoughts on the Rhian Brewster situation? Highly rated at Anfield. Great at Swansea. Now not starting at Sheffield United for 23 million. I think Rhian Brewster's very good. I really liked him at Swansea. I think he could have done with another season in the Championship. But from what I understand, Klopp didn't want to sell. But if you were the club, you wouldn't turn down the 23 million. If you were Sheffield United, you'd want the player. And if you were Brewster, well, you know, take the deal, I guess. So, bit of a strange one, but kind of all makes sense. I just feel he could have done with another year developing. Do you remember when Abraham went to Swansea for that season? It didn't work. And then he had another year where he came back with Villa and, you know, just was a bit more readied, wasn't he? So, but if you're Sheffield United, you don't sign someone for 23 million quid and then loan them out, do you? So hopefully, from Brewster and Sheffield United's point of view, he'll be at Sheffield United a long time. It will be a worthwhile investment and he'll score a ton of goals. He certainly will do if they go down to the Championship and he stays. Here is Lundstrom. Plays it to Norwood. Back to Lundstrom, left corner of the box. Lundstrom, nice curling effort. And it is wide. Hits the stanchion behind the goal. Swans fans inquiring about Rodden. Well, you got to look after your own, haven't you? On Brewster there, Jack would have taken him over Grant at West Brom. A couple of years younger. Yeah, maybe. He was okay for Swansea. I think okay's doing that a bit short. He was really good, wasn't he? Look at the league position and the points when he arrived and the goals ratio. But yeah, big step up to the Premier League. I totally agree with that. Thoughts on that one from MJ? Luton and Barnsley, 2 most improved teams. And yeah, Reading as well. Probably can't really argue with that. I think the points differential and the positions differential would probably make that fairly inarguable, wouldn't it? I'll take that one next from Stephen. Let me know your thoughts in the chat on that one. Fans in stadium by the end of the season. Here's Fleck. Fleck to Stevens and back into central defence. Lundstrom back to Egan. Spurs in shape. Really pushed high up. Squeezing the life out of it, actually. Although Stevens has got behind Aurier now. Stevens, low cross in and dealt with by Ben Davies on the cover. Second half possession, 61% Sheffield United, says Sky Sports. Interesting. Fleck, crossing position, pops it in. McGoldrick, lovely goal. One back for Sheffield United. Beautiful cross there. And it's 2-1. Sheffield United have won back. And I was just saying about Spurs pushing their lineup. They were too deep then from the throw-in. To be fair, it's a really good cross by John Fleck. McGoldrick just gets blindside of Ben Davies, and he just nicks him with the header and glances it into the corner. It's a lovely cross by Fleck, and that is 2-1. We wondered whether there would be any way back as Spurs then immediately come down the other end. And the shot is flashed wide, and it is corner number 10. Pretty much straight from kickoff there, and Ndombele feeds in Son, and that clearance could have gone anywhere from Basham, and it flies around the post. Get your thoughts in on a goal back for Sheffield United. There, Dave McGoldrick is the scorer. Interesting, as I would say. A corner for Spurs, which we've said too many times for our bet. In by Son and headed clear by the goal scorer McGoldrick, and out for a throw-in. I had queued up Stephen's question to take. Fans might be allowed in. Yeah, I think we might see after March. I think we'll go back to tiers with the vaccine coming in, and I think we might see the localised fans back in. Aurier throws it in. And back into Dyer. Who am I streaming midweek in the Championship? I think it is going to be, subject to change, Derby and Bournemouth on Tuesday night. Ari Brewster last season, effective in a good team for the level. Upper level needs to do much more than poach. Yep, that much is true. I think we all concur. Gibbler, myself and Chris on Brewster there. Aurier into the box, tries to cut it back. Snuffed out. Oh, given away again though. This is how the second Spurs goal came. Bergwijn, nice little scoop pass over, looking for Ndombele. Oh, that is just a brilliant goal by Ndombele. Oh, what a goal that is. Go out of your way to see that one. It's 3-1 to Spurs. An incredible bit of technique by Ndombele there. He's lobbed Ramsdale with the outside of his right foot in exactly the same way they conceded the second goal. Bergwijn, little scoop pass. And how about that? That is just a brilliant goal. Outside of his right foot. And he's lobbed it perfectly in off the far post. What a goal that is. Brilliant stuff from Ndombele there. We're just seeing another angle. He knows where the keeper is. I assume he meant to do it. He did have a look before. What a bit of technique that is. And in off the far post. And no sooner had they gone. 2-1. It's straight back to 3-1 and a 2-goal lead for Spurs. Wow. What are you guys saying in the chat? I need to update that. Chris Wilder is effing and blinding on the touchline. It's exactly the same thing. It's a mistake, but just ruthlessly punished. The first one by Kane and the second one by Ndombele. Let's go to the chat. Stunning technique. I think so. Yeah, I think he meant that. What a goal indeed. And Ndombele is insanely good at everything. That's called determination. I think it's a great goal. I'm assuming he meant it, but I mean, the only criticism is where's your left foot, mate? But when you got a right foot like that, who cares? Take a bow, son. Not son, but Ndombele. Brilliant. Beautiful goal. Yeah, I haven't looked at that, Tony, whether it was Norwood or not. The first one was definitely Norwood. It was a poor touch. This one, the ball was played to Norwood. I was so enamoured with the finish by Ndombele that I didn't actually see who was responsible for the mistake. Let me know what you guys think in the channel, in the chat, excuse me, channel chat. You know what I meant, didn't you? But yeah, a lovely goal. Although they're not going to go third, are they, Spurs? They need a 3-goal cushion. I mean, you know, first world problems. You could be an Ipswich fan, couldn't you? Not having enough goals to go third in the Premier League whilst winning an away game 3-1. But that is the size of it at the moment in the league table. Do we have the Manchester United and Liverpool teams through? I wonder. Ozil having a medical at Fenerbahce. He's going to be joining Bright Asai Samuel then, isn't he? What time is the Manchester United? I could just look it up, couldn't I? And Liverpool game. We will have the teams for that in about 7 minutes. So you can discuss that in the chat in 7 minutes' time. 65 gone in this one. Sheffield United 1, Spurs 3. Aurier with the opener. Free header from a corner. The second was Harry Kane after Sheffield United were in a good counter-attacking position. Gave the ball away. Kane punished them. Then, in the second half, John Fleck, great cross for Dave McGoldrick, 2-1. As the ball goes in the box and Egan and Ramsdale both going for the same ball there. Again, I don't want to pile in on Ramsdale, but they just haven't looked the same with Ramsdale there and not Dean Henderson, who'd been the keeper for a couple of seasons. Another example there. And then a brilliant outside of the right foot, half volley lob by Ndombele to make it 3-1. Brilliant goal. 66 minutes gone. Off comes Ollie Norwood, who may have been culpable for the second and third goals. Definitely the second one, but a good finishing both times. Keane Bryan has come on. So is he going to play centre-half? Has Basham gone into midfield, I wonder? That's a very odd-looking back three now for the Blades. I think it's going to be Ampadu, Egan and Bryan, with Basham possibly moving into midfield. No, sorry, I've got that wrong. Ampadu's gone into midfield. So Basham, Egan and Bryan, with Ampadu in midfield. Foul by McGoldrick on Dyer. And here comes Rhian Brewster. Going to get about 25 minutes in this one. Why don't the championship teams announce lineups 1 hour before kickoff? They do. Should be a rule. Yeah. I think that says it all about Norwood's performance today. I like Norwood a lot, actually. I thought he was outstanding in the promotion season. Deep line playmaker, for sure. There's Owen's predicted team. We only have a few minutes to wait, and we'll see if that's right. Yeah, you can be a nerd like me where all 30 teams that I cover, I have notifications set up on Twitter. So at 2 o'clock on a Saturday, my phone goes as all the teams come out. Although I'm sure we all know journalists and people in the know who have them from the day before often. Would Bournemouth have stayed up if they'd had Begovic in goal last season? Is this another Ramsdale comparison? I wonder. Begovic has been good this season, hasn't he? Although I think Chris is more commenting on Ramsdale there. Here's Lundstrom, deep midfield, plays it out left. Just knocked the stuffing out of Sheffield United. It would have been a very interesting 10 minutes or so at 2-1, wouldn't it? Hip is here and very welcome. Aurier, Kane and Ndombele for Spurs, McGoldrick for the Blades. And here is McGoldrick. Lovely feet, hits it straight at Lloris from about, well, he was inside the D, so about 20 yards out. Jay is here. Not looking good for Sheffield United staying up. No, and I think they've got Man United and Liverpool next, Jay. Also, 70 minutes up on the clock here. We're expecting Rhian Brewster any minute now. Substitution delayed. And Dyer should have delayed that pass because he's hoofed it right out of play. Here comes Brewster for Burke. So straight swap and no change of shape, you would have thought. Brewster will go up top with David McGoldrick. Second substitution for Sheffield United. Yeah, I think I've seen Ampadu play midfield a few times, actually. When he signed, I wondered if he was signed as a midfielder. So, yeah, for sure. Kane slides into the tackle there, wins it fairly. And Rodden has got it in the centre circle. Just exchanges passes with Dyer. Spurs, as ever, trying to draw the opponents onto them. Højbjerg, Dyer, lovely ball into the centre circle. And Ndombele, reverse ball, Son. Ooh, one touch and he was through. Bergwijn sweeps it up in the D. Lovely ball by Bergwijn outside of the foot. Reguilón, Kane in the box. Kane, ooh, just didn't get a good first touch, which is very odd for Kane. Bergwijn tries to spin and hit it. They nearly managed to get straight through, literally straight through the middle of the pitch there. And it was only the first touch of Son that didn't take him away from his man. Here comes Spurs again, who look at it at the moment, this couple of minutes. Reguilón knocks it backward. Kane. Aurier is over in the left-back position. I guess he's covering Reguilón. Dyer. This is so much better than listening to Lee Brilliant Hendry. Thank you. Is that a compliment? A backhanded compliment, I think. Here is Davies through the lines to Son, who controls it after a fashion. Kane to Højbjerg, looking for Bergwijn. Can't find him. Here comes Sheffield United on the transition. Brewster, Lundstrom. Bogle makes the overlap. A bit of a tired one and a bit of a tired ball from Lundstrom, but he's got it back. Basham is up with him. It's crossed in by Lundstrom. Too much on it. McGoldrick sticks the thumb up, but a bit of an empty gesture because it was a poor cross, wasn't it? Ampadu, one of the many Chelsea loanees. Henderson at centre-back, says the Sky Sports app on my phone. Basham is coming off. And Billy Sharp has come on. So I'll get my head around that in a sec. David McGoldrick has gone to play in the number 10 position. Is that a back four? It looks like it. So a change of shape from Chris Wilder. Got a back four there of Bogle, Egan, Bryan and Stevens. Sharp and Brewster up top with McGoldrick as a number 10. And then call it a diamond midfield or a 4-3-1-2, whatever you want. Ampadu, Fleck and Lundstrom are the midfielders. If the fullbacks advance, Sheffield United are going to be open as anything in this system. So we could get another goal in this game, but I'm not telling you who it's going to. This could get very open now. Fingers crossed. It'd be a fun watch. Oh, dear. Crossed in from the left and poor from Bryan. They got his feet all in a muddle and he concedes. Corner number 11, which is the last corner we can have. Else the challenge is over and we'll have to restart. All a bit of fun, though. Son is going to take the corner. Remember, they have scored from one of these already today. When SofaScore's got it, I'll bring up the Manchester United and Liverpool predicted shapes there. Now those teams are out if you want to discuss that. Son puts it in, cleared on the near post by Bogle. Out it goes. Bits says, I guess while they think they can get another goal, it's game on. I quite like that type of management, Bits. It's like, look, you're bottom of the league with 5 points. What's the point losing 3-1? You may as well lose 4-1 and have a go. Goal difference isn't a thing when you're that many points behind, is it? It's points you need. So you lose 1 5-1, you win 1 1-0. Fine. Had that with Leeds earlier in the season, didn't we? They won 3 and 4, but they lost 6-2 to Man United, but they won 3 and 4. So swings and roundabouts. Whale Shark. I accept that Spurs have better players than Sheffield United. I find it worrying that they also need to have more hunger for the ball. Yeah. It's difficult to tell, isn't it? Because sometimes what looks like hunger can literally just be intensity. Here comes Son, and that's deflected. And there goes the Bits bet. We are out, guys. We are out, and we're going to be restarting next time. Gamble responsibly, says Jay. We have gambled irresponsibly today. There we go. But no, going back to Whale Sharks, I think it's difficult for us fans to judge sometimes in terms of hunger. And it is always easier to press when you're winning, isn't it? Sometimes it looks like you're running around like headless chickens when you're losing. It looks all very organised. In it goes from Son. Again, we can stop worrying about corners now. And Dombele has his shot charged down. Davies to Kane, left-hand side. Egan stands him up. And between Egan and Lundstrom, they take the ball off Kane. The referee's going to have to stop the game there. As the ball gets kicked against him. He's had a good game, referee Mariner. And the drop ball is returned. For those of you who are going to be tuning in, this is what SofaScore have up for the Liverpool and Manchester United shapes there. Alisson, Alexander-Arnold and Robertson fullbacks. Fabinho and Henderson in at centre-back. Thiago, Wijnaldum and Shaqiri, and that sensational front three there. Mane, Firmino and Salah. For Manchester United, De Gea, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire, Shaw, McTominay and Fred, which is the same in all the big games, isn't it? Rashford, Fernandes, Pogba, Martial. Let's hope this one delivers, because look at some of those players. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Should be a great game. Doesn't come under my remit, and I will stick with my remit, I have to say. Championship and dearly departed as Billy Sharp chases in. Did we mention that Billy Sharp had come on? We did, didn't we? With the change of shape for Basham. Chris Wilder looks furious. And as we said, if it was a winning streak beard he's growing, he'll be shaving in the morning, Chris Wilder. Shaqiri is about 27. Yeah, he has been around forever, hasn't he? Who's he played for, Shaqiri? Inter, was it? I don't recall. And will I be watching it? I don't know whether I'll be watching it. I will go downstairs and see what my missus is up to. And I think we may well be cooking or something. So unless she's having a nap, then I might watch it. But if not, probably not. 80 gone in this one. 3-1 to Spurs. And a throw-in for Sheffield United down the right-hand side. The Ampadu, I think he's going to lob into the box. Yeah, Egan has come up. Any means necessary now. Dyer, who I like very much, wins the header again. Ampadu, nice give and go with Brewster. Egan lobs that into the back post. Aurier heads it away. McGoldrick out left, crosses left-footed, headed up in the air by Rodden, and he wins the second one as well. Here comes Bergwijn. Bogle takes it off Reguilon, and here come Sheffield United again down the right. Well played, Bogle. It's broken for Brewster. I thought Bogle got fouled there, but apparently not. Referee Mariner says no. Lundstrom has it in the centre circle now, plays it to Fleck. Nice turn by Fleck on Son, who is still pressing intensely there. Fit guy, old Son, isn't he? Nice ball down the line from Lundstrom to McGoldrick. McGoldrick to Stevens. Sheffield United are so open at the moment, committing lots of players into this attack. Here's Brian, a centre-half up in the left wing position. Egan, they really don't want to be caught out here. Brian, I mean, fair play. It's very, very brave, but they will be highly susceptible. But here's Sharp on the volley. Good effort by Sharp. Gets the height right, but the line is not good there on the full volley. Fair play to Sheffield United. There are tons of men in that attack. Sharp, yeah, he just shanks that one. Lloris doesn't even move for it. Would have had to have been a hell of a volley. Yeah, talking about Shaqiri, Inter, Bayern, and Stoke. Tremendous. What a list, eh? Lloris is taking his sweet time for this goal kick. Lucas Moura is going to come on for Spurs. Not quite yet, though. Brian hoofs that one forward. Sharp is going to make Dyer play that one. It's a foul. Sharp just bumps Dyer over, backs into him. Hello, the Journeyman Guide, who I believe is a Brighton fan. Welcome along. Wilder has assumed the look of abject gloom displayed last season by Farker. Yeah, hard old work, losing every week, isn't it? Roden. Dyer to Reguilon to Ndombele to Ben Davies now. And back they go, Spurs, taking their time, sitting on a 2-goal lead, sitting in the morning sun. Hip-a-dip-a-dip-a-dip-a-doo-ba-doo-doo. Don't know the words. I don't know what was wrong with the first key there. I couldn't whistle in the same key. Rubbish. Not as if I'm a trained musician or anything, is it? Here's Roden. Plays it into the channel, looking for Aurier, who's still on the move, high up the pitch. I suppose he is playing wing-back today, so a little bit more defensive cover than the normal fullback position. Wilder v Bruce. Who can look the most miserable in a match? Dyer and Sharp having a lovely old time there. Mourinho. Absolutely tremendous reaction from Mourinho there. That would definitely be made into a GIF. He storms off and slumps down in his seat like an itinerant, bratty teenager. Brilliant stuff by Mourinho. He never lets us down, does he? McGoldrick plays that in long. Reguilon heads it away. And here come Spurs. No, they don't. I don't quite know what Fleck was doing there. Just blasted it against Bergwijn when he could have controlled the ball. But there you go. It's back with the Blades. Lundstrom. Egan's gone up into attack. Really is all out attack for Sheffield United since Billy Sharp came on. McGoldrick has it sort of centrally. Fleck, really bad first touch by John Fleck there. And they've turned it over. And now, will we get the counter-attack? No. Now, John Egan has dived into a tackle on Harry Kane. And John Egan has been booked. It's a really poor touch by Fleck, I think, in the build-up, if I remember that correctly. Apologies. Where is this goal? I just put a tenner on at 2-1. Well, they're trying. Lucas Moura is going to come on for Steven Bergwijn. Bergwijn playing front right, so that will be a straight swap. And that's straight where Moura goes. And the camera goes on to Gareth Bale, presumably because he wasn't substituted on. We've gone from seeing pictures of Gareth Bale on the Real Madrid bench to pictures of seeing Gareth Bale on the Spurs bench. Stevens tries to play that inside and Moura blocks that one out. Brian takes the throw in down the left. Here's Fleck. Wins another throw in, which Stevens will take. Back it goes to Egan, who's probably going to go direct, is he? No, holds on to it. Lundstrom's dropped back in. Blades players frustrated at a lack of options. McGoldrick comes deep. And similar story here. Eric Dyer's pushing that Spurs line up really, really high and squeezing it up. And in the end, they've played into it and given the ball away. Here comes Spurs. Moura, edge of the box. I don't know what he's trying there, but it's found its way to Son in the corner. Son against Ampadu. Step over from Son. And then a little sidestep. Beats Ampadu and plays it backward to Davis. And the attack's lost its momentum. But Spurs just keeping the ball. Dyer Slips that into Reguilón and Ben Davies. Just keep ball now for Spurs. Sheffield United look a little bit worn out now. Billy Sharp's trying to get a press going, but to no avail. Flicked on by Aurier. Strong from Mora. Just shrugs Brian off the ball, but then Egan comes across and wins it back. Tremendous S-housery. You got to love it, haven't you? And they have the master in the dugout, don't they? Vinicius is going to come on. Vinicius, I don't know. Soft C, hard C. Who cares? You know who I mean. He's about to come on with 89 minutes and 17 seconds on the clock. We're not on 12 corners, are we? Bale has the best paid job in the world. Do a bit of training, play a bit of golf, hang with the lads, you know. Great. Stevens is in down the left-hand side now. Crosses low. Sharp was arriving. It's straight into the arms of Hugo Lloris. We will be on Wednesday. It says on my whiteboard, Man City versus Aston Villa. But if there's loads of games, that will surely turn into a super stream. We figure as we go, and with postponements, it's hard to plan. Those pedants amongst our audience did point out that when we went live on Wednesday night, the stream still said Villa Tottenham rather than Fulham Tottenham, but that was the original game, and that was how it was set up. We're all trying to keep up here. And Dombele, nice step over, lovely angle on the pass there. Mora, Son now. Son into the box. Kane, surely, I don't believe that. Kane blasts it over the top when you thought he was destined to score. Huge chance by Harry Kane standards there, and he sticks it over. I was wondering whether there was going to be a booking in the... there was an advantage played in the build-up to that. Kane, is he going off? No, he's staying on. I think he thought he was coming off. But Son is going to come off instead because Jose, he's further away from the halfway line. In fact, they probably planned that, didn't they? Kane will jog over knowing he's not going to come off. And now Son very slowly jogs off. Carlos Vinicius. It's Portuguese, isn't it? If he's Brazilian. I don't know. Anyone speak Portuguese? Soft C or soft C ch, hard C k, or a susa. It's not a hard Italian one, is it? I'll reiterate my earlier point. Who cares other than pedants? Here's Fleck. He's been robbed again. He's not had a great game today, Fleck. Has he? Ozil could learn something from Bale. In the sitting on the bench stakes. Aurier has it down the right. Turned over. McGoldrick concedes a throw in. He knows. Going to get another sub. Excuse me, for Spurs, who are inciting me to yawn and therefore killing this game off quite easily. Good point. It was a good cross for the McGoldrick goal, but I think you would agree, Anir, that generally he hasn't had a good game, has he? Of course, any professional player can put a decent cross in during a 90 minutes. Final substitution, we think, 3 minutes into the third minute of stoppage time. Reguilón's going out. Sanchez coming in. So Davis will play left wing back for the 20 seconds that are probably likely remaining after Sanchez comes on. Glenn, another disappointing match day for the Blades. Absolutely, and a little bit architects of their own downfall. Imagine where Sheffield United would be without McGoldrick this season. He hasn't had a bad season, has he? For sure. Agreed, hasn't had a great game. No Blades players stood out. No. Two things can be true. I agree with you on both counts there. Egan plays out to Stevens. We're a minute over our stoppage time. And it's all over. Now, very quickly, before we go, can you give me your Man United Liverpool predictions, please? Manchester United Liverpool. Liverpool Manchester United. Got that the wrong way round. I will be picked up on that one. So give me your predictions in. Let me just wrap this one up. Sheffield United 1, Spurs 3, Aurier 4 minutes. Header from Son's corner. Kane, Sheffield United giving the ball away on a counter-attack, and they gave it to Harry Kane, and of course Harry Kane scored. Second half, get back in the game, 2-1, Fleck, lovely cross. McGoldrick glances to head it in. And then, of course, they concede again. In possession, quick counter press from Spurs. Bosch, away you go. Bergwijn scoops over. To be fair, it's a great goal. And Dombele lobs with the outside of his right foot in off the far post. That's the story. Keep your Liverpool Man United predictions coming in. We'll bang through a few of those. I'm literally on that game when I should be on our game that we were just doing. Let's just have a look at the numbers, and we'll have a look at the league table. 59-41 to Spurs in the possession, 15-14 to Blades in the shots, 5 each on target, 7 corners to 5 killed. The bits bet, didn't it? In Spurs' favour. 2 big chances to 1. We all watched that game, didn't we? It wasn't as tight as those numbers make it look. But hey, some solace there. But we know that numbers don't reflect game state often, do they? What does, though, which is quite helpful, is the attack momentum graph. You can see that up there, which gives us a bit of a better reflection there in terms of the blue and green graph up there. Let's have a look at the league table. Spurs move up to 4th, but remember, Liverpool and Manchester United will be kicking off in 30 minutes time, 35 minutes time. Sheffield United stay bottom. We'll do a full look back at that in the Dearly Departed show. And here are your predictions, Liverpool and Manchester United. I'll just read Tony's comment there. First time here. Nice one, Tony. Thank you for coming along. You're very, very welcome, and thank you for joining in to the debate. Here are your predictions. 1-1, 1-1, 2-1 Manchester United, 2-1 Liverpool, 2-1 Liverpool, 1-1, 3-2 Liverpool. That'd be a treat, wouldn't it? 0-0, hopefully not. 3-1, 3-1. By the way, anyone who perpetuates the idea that our watch-alongs are cursed, we had 4 goals today. So I don't know how many 0-0s we've had. Some scurrilous scamps like to suggest this. 2-1, 2-1, 3-1. Score draw, at least 1 red card. You love to see it. 2-1 Liverpool. Glenn, we'll see you in the Championship. I might have a look. We'll see. I might hang with the missus. But I won't be doing it as a watch-along journeyman guide for sure. Not my jurisdiction. We will stand aside on that. Glenn says 1-1. Joe says 3-2. Manchester United. Right. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Please, before you go on YouTube, please hit, I mean, it's scrolling at the moment, actually, hit the thumbs up button. And if you want to, go ahead and subscribe over on Patreon. That would be very kind. Enjoy Manchester United, Liverpool. We have just watched Sheffield United 1, Spurs 3. More on that in the Dearly Departed show, which will be it's scheduled for 1 p.m. tomorrow. It won't be a live one, though. I'll pre-record that in the morning. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We do it live. Let me know if you want to see it live in the comments on Twitter, etc. Thank you, everybody, for watching. And it is over and out from me. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.
Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button to see more videos from this channel. Hit the subscribe button and to be notified every time we upload. Ring the bell for those notifications to come through on your device. If you really want to support the channel and me as a content creator, I will be eternally grateful if you head over to the merch store and grab something, or support over on Patreon, patreon.com/Benjamin Bloom. Thank you for your time. Go and watch another video.